Hello children, welcome to the YouTube channel Guru of Social. Today's our topic is going to continue with the reading and analysis of maps, getting into the connection of European cartography skills. So European cartography skills, we are discussing this in connection with the previous projections of the world cartographers related to the world map projections. So most of the maps which are related to the Indian cartography projection, Arab map makers projection, Sumerians and Babylonians map projections, they were trying to focus with a specific concept. Now in the period of 1802, the Europeans, they felt that it's a time to colonize their power in our country, India. So in the previous conclusions of the world cartography skills, we have already discussed that whatever the maps are made with most of the accuracy facts, were losing some accuracy concepts related to the location of places which were trying to project only about the exterior facts. We couldn't trace out the interior parts of the places. So in the same way, Europeans were also thinking that we are not having any clarity regarding the interior parts. It's a time to go with the exploration and discovery of the world map projections. But at the time, Arabs have not actually given the permit for them to come across the Mediterranean Sea and to visit our country, India. So now they took a project to be taken upon to go with the discovery and exploration towards our country, India. So they want to know the location of our country, India. They want to trace out the new sea routes to reach our country, India. They want to study everything in detail, which gives them clarity about our country, India, and its relief features. They want to know each and every fact of the Indian terrain. They want to know the location of the place. They want to know the terrain of the earth. They want to know about the natural features like mountains, plains, plateaus, minerals availability, crops, what they are grown, what are the types of soils distributed over the lands in our country, India, what is the water availability, resources, what are the rivers flowing, what are the seas, what are the oceans. Like that, they want to study everything in detail because they want to make the establishment of their trading centers in our country, India, and they want to exploit the India in a full-fledged manner. So they took upon a project as a survey of India to be taken upon, and it was totally 5 decades project, started in 1800 Common Era and end by 1852 Common Era. And it was actually with a concept to totally study about our country, India. Study of India was the project taken upon by the Europeans for the world map projections. It was totally 5 decades project. So for this, first of all, they have established the department Survey of India. Survey of India. This agency of India was mainly the purpose to survey about our country, India, as well as to make the maps. So it took the charge upon surveying or to know everything in detail of our country and as well as to make the maps which are related to our country, India, and also to give a complete knowledge about the resources which are obtained naturally, so that they want to make out the maximum revenue as an income, as a profit they want to enjoy. Okay, and they want to prefer the colonization in our country, India. So they started with the establishment of Survey of India in our country, and for this they have appointed James Rennan. What is his name? James Rennan. 1802 to survey about our country, India. but that survey was not yet completed by him. Then again, they appointed William Lambton in the same period. William Lambton, they actually asked him to start his exploration right from Chennai, the Saint Mount Thomas of Chennai, and to reach the maximum height of Himalayas. And asked them to find out what is the length of the longitude which they have come across while traveling from St. Thomas Mount of Chennai to the highest height of Himalayas. But that project was an incomplete attempt by William Lambton also. At that time, they have again engaged. His name is George Everest. What is his name? George Everest. Sir George Everest. He took upon the project and he started his culmination from Chennai of St. Mount Thomas of Chennai and reached the highest point of the Himalayas, and there he has discovered highest mountain peak. It is named as Mount Everest with the 8,845 meters height from Chennai, because here they took the Chennai as MSL, which we already discussed in the 7th class topic as mean sea level. At the time of Britishers' reign in our country, India, of the 5 decades project time, they took and they considered Chennai as the point to measure the height of our country, India, and the height of different places. But today it is Mumbai high. At the present period, we are going to take the measuring of the heights of our country, India, as a MSL, the Mumbai high. But at the time of the British cartography decades project of 5 years, Chennai was taken as the zero level or 0 point, which we considered as mean sea level of India. From there only they started measuring the heights of different places and as well as the height of our country, India. That is why in page number 7, whatever the map they have given, it is compared with the present map of our country, India, there is lot of difference. Are you clear with this topic? Next, we are going with the uses of maps. How the maps are useful in ancient days? We can exactly take at the time of the Britishers. Okay, and we can compare with the present period. At the time, you know very well what purpose they have used the maps. First of all, they used the maps to fix the locations which helped them in the colonization. What do you mean by colonization? The process of establishing a great power of the Britishers in our country, India, by creating and converting the Indian regions into the British colonies and exploiting them to the maximum extent. And whatever the maps they have prepared, they have not revealed to anyone. They kept them as very confidential. And they used the maps to exploit our natural resources, what we have already discussed, which are available in our country, and improved their trading centers, developed their income, and enjoyed the profit. And even they used the maps for conquering the whole world, not only our country, India. They were in intention of exploiting the other regions of the world also, even for going with the practice of invasions. They considered to use the maps. But today the maps, whatever, they are not confidential. They are completely open to everyone. We are going to use the maps. They are not confidential under the control of any government. They are openly used with the factor of freedom in our democratic country, India today. Not like the ancient days. And today, most of the maps are used for the development of our country. We are able to know about the languages, we are able to know the population, where we are able to know the poor types of soils, there we are going to make them to be sustained factor with the central government and state government projects. And even we are developing the availability of water resources in the poor non-remote areas also. And even we are developing the literacy factors, educational factors, improving the thoughts of the present generations, and developing the advanced technology where we can empower every corner fact of our country, India, to the maximum extent. Is it clear for you? And even we are advanced in the technology and even space explorations, NASA. We are going with the fact of launching of the satellites, rockets, and we are going get into the communication of the telecast programming concepts. So in this way, we are getting advanced with the uses of maths today. And next, coming to the point, analysis of population in India. To test ourselves, they have given a projection of Indian map with some states, and they have given you the idea about the population of our country, India. I will show you. Yes, children, you can see density of population of year 2011 census, and they have given you the list of some states with what population. Okay, depending on this index and the color concepts, we have to know. For example, 0 to 250 is projected with the yellow color projection. So 0 to 250 means you can take here Arunachal Pradesh. You can take again Chhattisgarh. Again you can take Himachal Pradesh. So these states you have to project them in the yellow color. In the same way you can go with the remaining state population census for the projection of color theme concepts. And here you can see some conventional symbols which are used in today's cartography of our country India, but these are accepted universally. These are accepted universally. Even the color theme concepts are also accepted universally, which is we are using in the thematic maps of our country India. And the next topic is coming towards the conventional symbols and analysis of population in India. Is clear to you? And contour lines, you know, contour lines we already discussed in 7th class, how they are useful for us to divide the heights on the land equally, and how it helped us to find out the mean sea level through which we are able to measure the height. So these contour lines, when we are discussing here, when the steeps are gentle, the contour lines will be projected generously with a good space. If the slopes are very steep, then the projection of the contour lines will be very close. They are not going to be far away. So with the projection of the contour lines only, we can explain whether the slopes are gentle, whether they are steep. So when the slopes are gentle of the particular terrain of the land, we can assume the contour lines are taking a far projection. It means the slopes are gentle. If the contour lines are projected close to each other, not far away from them, then the slopes are steep, means very deep. Are you clear, children? So in this way, when they are trying to project the slopes, whether they are steep, at the same time, they are even showing about the height of the lands also simultaneously. So in two ways, they are helping us to give the knowledge about the slopes, whether they are gentle, whether they are steep or deep, and even they are helping us to know about the heights which are distributed and divided equally with the help of contour lines, which we call them as isolines. And aerial photography means what? Taking the photos of the earth or terrain of the land with the natural features with a part of reality with some aerial projective bodies. You can take like for example helicopters, aeroplanes, even air balloons. So when we are taking the position of these aircraft vehicles from a particular elevation or point to take the real pic of the ground or earth, it can be defined as aerial photography. This aerial photography uses are mostly purposely, it will help in the analysis and in research of the lands or the archaeological sites, which will make us to extract or obtain the history of that particular place, what happened in that place in the ancient, and what are the changes taken place in the relief features of that particular land. And at the same time, satellite imagery, the images or the photographs which are taken by the satellite vehicles or the satellites, they are being defined as satellite imageries. When we launch any satellite into the space, it takes the pictures of different planets. At the same time, when it is going to capture the pic of our earth or nothing but the terrain of the earth, it will help us in getting the knowledge about the telecommunications. It will help us in gaining the knowledge about the forestry distribution or vegetation, you can consider about even the meteorological department will be able to forecast about the weather condition, whether it is going to be what we say hot, cold, or even it is able to extract the information about the distribution of rainfall, whether it is going to be heavy, any impact of the natural disasters also can be expected to be extracted the information from the meteorological department by depending on the satellite imageries. Children, are you clear about the topics of this particular lesson? Thank you. Please keep your complaints or even your doubts in the comment box. I will clarify it. Thank you to watch the videos. Guru of Social. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. All the best, children.